Hello folks, I'm Ed Overstreet. Welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. And for the second time today, I am live. Tonight, I'll be imaging the Rosette Nebula NGC 2244. And let's head over there and take a look at it. Okay, I have opened my acquisition software, Sequence Generator Pro, and I have programmed the camera, telescope, and mount to image, take 110 images of the Rosette, and that's going to last all night. Pretty sure it's, I don't know what time we'll stop, but let's see. I've got about 7 hours of imaging to do, so there's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. So sometime around 3 o'clock, I'll be finished, and then at 4 o'clock, if I'm alive, up and able, I'm going to try to get the comet. So that's the plan. Probably won't be live, but who knows? I may boot up and show you what I can find. So if you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, check out the YouTube channel. I may be live. There's also a chance I won't be. Here's what it looks like. I've been taking images because you can't tell much. This is one image. I'll stretch it. You can see some faint data coming in, some information. This is all nebulosity. This star cluster is it's been created in the last, say, 5 million years by the nebula. This hydrogen nebula and oxygen nebula have all contributed to the formation of these stars, and these stars are lighting up these gases, and so that's why we're able to see it. And when all's said and done, I will stack all of the images that I take tonight and tomorrow morning into one image, and I will compile the data from all of the images into one image, and it will be a color image when I'm finished. So, and I'll let you take a look at the finished image, regardless of how it turns out. So that's what we'll be doing. So far, I have taken 14 frames. I've been imaging for 1 hour and 9 minutes. I was tempted not to go live because I've got the an NFL playoff game going on right now at the same time, and my man Trevor Lawrence has thrown 2 interceptions in his first 2 possessions. I can't watch anymore, so I thought, well, I'll just go live. Maybe I'll bring you good luck by not watching. So I've got Harry Potter on now. I'm an old man and I love Harry Potter. Okay, let's see. What am I doing? Guiding's pretty good. Scene conditions are very bad. And guiding, well, it isn't good. It was under 1 earlier, and it's gone up to 1.19 RMS. My image scale is 1.6. So, no, take that back. My image scale is 3.2. So I'm okay. but it isn't good guiding, and the scene is rated as poor, and I can concur that it is bad. I imaged the sun today, and scene was bad today as well. Scene is when there's so much turbulence in the atmosphere that your image is being affected by dispersion and light pollution and moisture and the jet stream, and all of that just contributes to an image that is not tack sharp. So, and it's real easy to see poor scene when you're looking at, say, Jupiter or the moon. You'll see it waving, kind of undulating, some movement, and like it's pulsating. And that's just the atmosphere misbehaving between my camera sensor and the moon. And it happens. Actually, it happens more often than not. It's rare that we get excellent scene in my backyard. So, but I can live with it's dropped down to now 106, and I'm pretty low in the horizon, and getting an RMS. It's now under 1, but getting an RMS around 110, 116, 120 isn't a game changer. It's I can work with it. When you look at the image stars, they look okay. My smaller stars are looking kind of sharp. I do have some kind of bloated looking stars in this image, but I've noticed that my RASA, which is what I'm imaging with, and a Celestron 8-inch RASA and an ASI183MC color camera. I'm using an Optolong L enhance filter on the camera, so that's going to allow me to capture, along with some of the color RGB. I'm also going to be getting hydrogen and oxygen signal on a one-shot color camera, which is a great breakthrough in astronomy, astroimaging. This is also a graphic of my PhD guiding, so I really don't have to go back and forth. I do, but I don't have to. This is a miniature view of the same graphic. My mean has dropped down from 6,500 when I started, but it's gotten darker. I am, of course, the altitude of the telescope is higher, so I'm getting better signal, and I like seeing this drop. I would imagine by the time I reach transit, the culmination of the and transit, that this should be somewhere in the 3s, 33, 3400, and that's going to take place. When is transit? I need to pay attention to that. Transit is when the telescope passes the meridian, and it's right here, the culmination. So transit is at 1123, and that's when the mount flips. It does that on its own, and the telescope goes to the weight side, and the weights go to the telescope side. And it keeps the weights from being higher than the telescope, and the telescope banging into the pier, causing damage. So we've got one other thing. I said we had each one from this vertical line to this vertical hour is 1 hour of time. So we're about 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5, 6 hours. I want to stop imaging around here, so I'm going to right click and it will automatically stop imaging if I've already gone to bed, because that's 33 degrees and that's as low as I want to image in the sky. And I started about 33 degrees, and that's pretty low. The lower you're imaging altitude-wise, the closer you are to the horizon, the more nonsense in the atmosphere. And they use the expression that you're shooting through several layers of atmosphere, as opposed to when you're imaging towards the zenith, you're only shooting through 1 or maybe 2 layers of atmosphere. Obviously, the more layers of atmosphere, the worse the scene is. So let me check out something here. All right, let's see. I want to take that out of the way, and let's watch the data come in. And Darcy Bose, I can stretch that more, but it bleaches it out. But you can see the data, and I am taking 300-second exposures, which is a pretty long exposure for our RASA, which is an f2 telescope, which is extremely fast. But this L-enhanced filter really limits the light that's coming into your sensor, so it does require a long exposure to get anything. Okay, let me, while that's, we're about to download an image. We're at 8 seconds. I'm down here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and another one will come in. And when it comes in, it won't be stretched. Okay. Pay attention to this. My mean dropped about 30 points from that image. I'm going to go ahead and stretch this again, but keep an eye on this mean. It's 4304. That's my ADU, and mean ADU. And as that drops, my signal to noise improves. So watch this. I expect it to drop 20 or 30 points almost with every image now. Maybe not that much, but I do expect it to drop. I am getting some saturated stars if I click here and I'm looking down here. And if I click or go in here, the maximum is blown out 65,504. And so this star's saturated, which means I'm clipping some of the brights. But it's really hard to take a 300-second exposure and not have some saturated stars on an f2 telescope. Hey guys, I see the kid. You're not at the star party? Hey guys, hold on. The kid. You're not at the star party? Hey guys, see the kid. You're not at the star party? I'm the most non-tech guy on the planet. Oh me. Oh lordy. Do. Up. Da. I'm trying to get my own YouTube channel up, and I don't know how to do that, so I can see the questions. Hang on a minute. I may try. Just don't pay attention to all of the screens that you're going to see. I'm going to try to, let's see. That isn't right. Let's try put me in the frame. All right, now what I want to do, I want to bring up, hang on. Let's go to, and I want, comments. All right, now I got my comments up. Darren, hello, how are you doing? Kid, the star party is next week, isn't it? No, it's going on right now, I think. I think it's going on right now. No, I'm imaging Christmas. I'm not the Christmas tree. The NGC 2244, the Rosette Nebula. Yeah, I almost went with that. I'm working back up on the questions. Let me get them on this YouTube channel so I can take you back outside. So let's go. All right. Hopefully you're back outside. And that's what I was afraid of. Every time I click on that, it's going to take me. All right. So I got to get the YouTube thing working. And see, I go live. I got it. Yeah, Darren, I'm non-tech. You ought to see me when I put one of these together. It's a bold move for me to do this live. Oh, we're downloading one. Watch this drop from 3304 to 4260. So it's coming down, and I'm tickled. I'm really tickled at that. So, yay! Now let me see if I can get this iPhone to sit on a stand. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm non-tech. Okay. I'll move a window around here. And so at 4260, and we're going to be in the threes in the next hour or two. Sure will be. And that's a good thing. This is the Rosette Nebula, NGC 2234. I was looking at, let me see if it's, that's where I made my, I don't need that. I don't need that. Here's where it was. Okay, this is the Rosette. This is what I hope my image ends up looking like. But it's 1.3 degrees in apparent size. It's in Monticero's constellation. It's got a 9 magnitude. It's pretty bright, but it's only 5,200 light years away, 1,600 parsecs. There's something that I thought was pretty interesting. Just in some of these highlights. And that's something. Incredible image. It's 50 light years across, so it's really not that big, and it's 5,200 light years away, so it's pretty close. And I think in the grand scheme of the cosmos, it's like uh, 5 million years old that these star clusters were formed, which is what's lighting up this nebula. So these stars were created from all of this nebulosity. I just read that. The only reason why I know it on another something, as I was trying to act halfway intelligent. Uh, Hope my wife doesn't watch this. That halfway intelligent stuff amuses her. And so we got some great skies tonight. I was going to show you outside. I'm going to boot up my surveillance camera, which is right behind my telescopes, I think. There we go. And I'm only imaging with one telescope. I had a little disaster earlier today. I was imaging the sun. Let me lower the camera a little bit outside. Those of you who have watched me image live in the live in the past know that I have another telescope, usually where this tub is sitting, and that's what I use to image the sun. It's a solar setup, and the mount just wasn't behaving, so I took it down, and right now it's set up in the garage, and I'm just going to have to break the mount down and start working on it, and take it apart and find out what's happening. Put it back together again. But I put all of these, so because we're in a solar maximum or we're approaching it, and there's so much nutty stuff going on in the sun. I mean, it's crazy stuff. I just have to image it. So I took the solar kit and I put it on this Atlas Pro mount. So I will only have this RASA to image with, which is fine. I got my hands full, but I won't be imaging with two telescopes at a time and two different targets at a time like I usually do. I'm going to turn the lights off outside. I'm going to turn off the infrared. Let me go to my settings and light. Let's turn them off. And I'm going to see where I'm pointed. We'll go up here and I'll show you what the sky looks like. And we're over my house now. Well, I thought I could. It's high enough now that it's higher than my camera will rotate. Uh, so it's somewhere up in here, what my target, and the same target that the kid's imaging is also imaging tonight, and he's this Monosaurus right here, and he's imaging the Cone Nebula also. The kid just lives up the road in a little community called Chesney, South Carolina. Well, and Orion just also, Orion's more over here, but it's also higher than my kit will rotate. So I'll take it back down to my telescope. This is how I can stay inside and keep a handle on things. You've never seen a man move so fast when I am upstairs as far from the telescope as I could possibly be in my home. And when things go wrong, I fly out of this chair and I run through the house. And of course, my wife is used to it. Turn the IR lights back on, which the kits are not affected by that light. but allows me to see what's going on. I've got a laptop that's tethered to the telescope, and then I'm connected using Splashtop software. In my home, I'm connected to this laptop, and that's how I'm able to deal with this. Sugar booger. Okay. Yeah. Sky's looking great tonight. Let me head back out to our images. We're at 4218 now. What were we on the last image? Let's back it up. We were at 4260 on the last image, and we're now at 4218. So, yay. That's exciting. Let's stretch this image. You're looking at the Rosette live. Just think about it. This information has been traveling for 5,200 light years. That's not, in the grand scheme of the cosmos, that's pretty close to us. We got another one. Where'd we go? We're at 4188. So we went from 4218 to 4188. It's coming down. The signal's better. If I let's stretch this again. Medium stretch. If I rotated back, not rotated, if I scrolled back to the first image that I took, you would see the signal would be more blown out. It's just so much better now. If I'd have done a medium stretch on that first image, I probably won't even be able to use it. I don't even think PixInsight can normalize it, but I was actually trying to get things started, and I wanted to make sure my guiding was working and my imaging was working. So I'll probably get rid of the first 10 or 15 frames, regardless of how they might look, because they won't make a big contribution to the final image when it's all said and done, from experience. And if I keep 5 hours of this out of the 7 hours that I'm imaging, I ought to have enough information to make a pretty image. So, counting on it. Every time I look at the questions that you guys are posting, it what does it do? It takes me off of this page. I've got to figure out how to keep that from happening. I've got my desk chair to where I'm just about laid back. I'm ready to spend the night here and catch some Z's later on, and I'll try to wait until 4 o'clock in the morning. And a few people from Roper Mountain Astronomy, which is a group that I belong to, are at a star party tonight. It's too cold for me right now outside. It is 30 degrees in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Dew point's 19.9. We're not going to have any water on our scopes tonight, guys. Not down here. Because the dew point, which is the blue line, and the temperature, which is the red line, don't look like they're going to be intersecting anytime tonight. So that's a good thing. And my dew heaters aren't even, they're just turned on. They're not turned up. They're just turned on. So Oh, I have no problem, kid, on the YouTube. I have no problem seeing the questions on the YouTube channel with my phone. What I'm having, I have a window that's open right on top of this image. It's right here. You can't see it, and it's got all the comments and reactions. And it's if I accidentally click anywhere near that, it takes me over here. So then I have to quickly move back. So that's what I'm dealing with now on the YouTube. I can easily see what's coming in, but on my phone the print's so small, and my 78-year-old eyes are 78 years old, then and I would need to put my glasses on. And if I put my glasses on, and if any women should log on, I'll probably break up a marriage. I don't like to wear glasses. Of course, I just have to wear glasses to read. I don't need to see the computer screen. So, anyway, I would rather operate from this window and seeing the comments and reactions. I use a Mac, and there's a software program called Ecamm, ECAMM, and it's awesome streaming software. And I can simulcast through any number of, Instagram, Twitter, um, Facebook, YouTube, and it's all incorporated in the Ecamm software. It's real easy to use. It's modestly priced, and it gives you lots of bells and whistles if you know how to use them. And I don't commit the time to understanding all the bells and whistles. So I want to know how to turn my cameras on, how to answer questions, how to post a thumbnail, how to make a thumbnail, and that how to make sure the sound is coming through and that the feedback is monitored. That's pretty much it. I need a new mic. This is a Rode mic, and the sound's not good. I could probably, the sound of the Mac is probably better. Um, I can't stand to listen to me. The sound, not, it's just not a good sound. So, but I make do. All right, let's stretch this. We're at 4149 mean, and that's a medium stretch. Let's really bang it up pretty good. So this is a pretty hefty stretch, but one image is producing a lot of cool hydrogen data and some oxygen, but this is mostly hydrogen. It's a very prominent color, and it radiates a red hydrogen, a reddish appearance. And if you go back to, I go back to, let's see, this image right here. This image right here is a very typical one-shot color camera image of the Rosette. And this is more of a narrow band where a mono camera was used with hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen filters. You can also pull some of these colors out of these L Extremes, L Enhance filters. But anytime you see this kind of a teal blue, orangey kind of color, you could pretty much count on this being shot with a mono camera using narrowband filters. This is a one-shot color camera, and I would probably guess it's a DSLR. Let's see if we can find out. Doesn't say. Or does it? No. Yeah, it's taken from a professional observatory in wherever Tenerife is, and so I suppose no, it isn't. Is that the one I clicked on? No. It's telling me about copyrights. Enough of that. All right, back outside. We got a new image, and we're at 4113. It's coming down. So I am using Sequence Generator Pro, and taking what's called a light frame. I'm using an L-enhance filter. You know, I said these were 300 seconds. These are 240 second long. I intended to take 300 seconds. And I'm taking 110 of them. I got 6 hours of imaging time left. I've already imaged for an hour and 41 minutes. 5 hours left. So it'll be in the 7-hour neighborhood. And I'll probably end up keeping around 5 hours, between 5 and 6 hours, if the guiding holds and my stars continue to be okay. I'm going to pause this and focus in a minute. The temperatures have dropped, and I want to deal with that. Wait, I'm going to lose you, so let me go back. I had to move that window so I can run the focus. I'm going to go ahead and click on run, and it's going to tell me I'm going to force a focus at the end of the next frame. And so when this one is done, which is 170 seconds from now, we're counting down at 163 seconds. When this one is finished, it'll run an autofocus. I have the half flux radius is at 4.49. I don't know if I'll improve it that much. I've got some really large stars right in here, out here as well. And this star cluster is going to make it hard to have a respectable number. Like I would prefer that the half flux radius be in the 2s on the RASA. But when you have stars this big, being in the 4s is okay. It's not that it's bad, it's that this is being influenced by these very large stars. And they're not going to get much tighter. But my telescope, and all telescopes, are affected by temperature change, and so it's important each time the temperature drops 3 or 4 degrees that you refocus. It's important for me to refocus, and it kind of depends on the telescopes. Newtonians are really built to be refocused quite often in when the elements of temperature change are in effect. Now, if you are starting out at 30 degrees and you're finishing up at 30 degrees, once you get a good focus on a one-shot color camera, leave it alone. If you're not going to be changing filters, then you're good to go. No, I don't use the Pegasus autofocus. I use Moonlight focusers, Darren, and actually on this edge I'm using the Celestron focuser, but I use the Celestron driver also to manage the focus, so I do it manually. Now I can I'm going to bring up my control panel. Darren asked the question, doesn't the Pegasus Ultimate Power Box or the power boxes, do they not trigger focus? when I bring up my control panel and I click on focus, well, I lost it because it's going to focus. When it's done, I'll show you how I can program that to refocus every 5 degrees or 10-degree change in Sequence Generator Pro, and I'm sure Nina does the same thing. Yeah, the humidity and temperature sensor on the Ultimate Power Box don't regulate the autofocuser. That information is read by Sequence Generator Pro, and Sequence Generator Pro controls the focuser, the acquisition software. So it's showing my focus was set up at 23,473 a while ago, and it's recommending it's going to be at 23,469. It looks like. No, it's going to be at 23,494 with a half flux radius of 2.2. Now, it's 2.2 because I'm binning my autofocus exposures 2 by 2. So that's actually that's actually going to be 4.4. So I should improve from 4.54 to 4.4. Now, on focus, I can set this so that I focus for every 10 minutes, or I can set autofocus for every, say, 4-degree change. I don't know why that's grayed out. I don't know why. I'll have to come back and revisit that. But when I'm shooting LRGB filters and have a filter wheel, then I have it set to autofocus after filter changes. But I typically manage the focus, and I kind of watch temperature changes, and I just kind of keep an eye on the relationship between my stars over here and the half flux radius, and I make my decisions whether I'm going to focus. Sometimes even when there hasn't been a 2, 3, or 4-degree temperature change, I can just tell my focusing isn't as good as it was. So this is where you program Sequence Generator Pro. You enter your camera information, pixel width, pixel height, scale, and how cold you want to cool the sensor. Then if you have filters, you name your filters, you set your focus parameters, your telescope. I use the meridian flip. I set that to flip. I don't like to flip. I like to go about 10 minutes past the meridian before I flip. And the reason for that is that if you don't allow for some time to pass past the meridian, and you're backed up against the meridian, if the telescope needs to move east, it may not be able to. So if it needs to be able to move east to plate solve, and you're backed up against the meridian, then it may just stay. It won't. And you'll end up having a fail. All your equipment shuts down. You're sound asleep because you thought it was going to meridian flip for you while you dozed, and you come back out and find everything's shut down. So if you wait to where you've got some wiggle room for the telescope to plate solve in at least 10 minutes, almost every kit could go past the meridian at least an hour. The weights will be higher, not that much higher though, and the telescope, I doubt, would even be close to your tripod or your pier. But I can go an hour past the meridian anytime, anywhere, any declination in the sky. I can do that. Any target that, and regardless of its declination, I can go an hour past, and I bet everybody can. And sometimes that's what I'll do. If I can see where, let's say this was going to do a meridian flip at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was going to stop imaging at 3, well, I would just change this to flip at 4 o'clock, and it'll shut down at 3 o'clock because it will finish and complete its imaging. And so at any rate, I don't know if that makes any sense. This is how you set up your plate solving. I use ASTAP, but I also have Pinpoint, and I use Plate Solve 2 by PlaneWave. But this is this is quick, and I like using that. This is where I coordinate with my PhD 2, and the settings allow me to connect with profile that I'm using. I disconnect when I'm done, and switches to my power. This is for observatory, control, flat box, and so forth. So the control panel allows you to program everything. Yeah, I like ASTAP, Darren. It's if I'm not using ASTAP, I'll go to Pinpoint. I had to pay for Pinpoint, but that's actually what I started out using, and it works well. It takes a little longer. Plate Solve takes Plate Solve 2 takes the longest. We're at 24 frames. It took 2 hours to take those, almost. And we're going to probably go below 4,000 on this next image. I knew we were going to get into the 3s. I don't know how much into the 3s we'll get, but yeah, it's looking better. That's an extremely high stretch. This is a very low stretch, but even with the low stretch, I can see some faint nebulosity that I couldn't see it at all before. And it wasn't, my sky background wasn't dark. It was kind of bleached out a little bit with the very first image. And my mean was up around 12,000. Is that right? Let's see, we've got 24 images. You know, I don't think it was 12,000. I'm going to go back 23. It takes a while to scroll through these. 22, 21. I'm watching right here. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We should be there. That wasn't as bad as I thought. All right, this was the very first image that I took, and the mean is 5450, and that's what you're going to see with a medium stretch. So just kind of keep that in mind. At a mean of 5450, it's all washed out. That's what you see with the stretch. Now, as soon as this downloads in 45 seconds, we'll see the 25th or 26th frame. I think it's a 25th frame. "21 seconds and counting." Well, Harry Potter's in a pickle tonight. I don't know how many times I've seen this. All right, we're downloading from 54 to we're at 4015. All right, let's do that same stretch. And I hope you could see the difference. I can't toggle back and forth between the other one, but the data is just so much better compared to the sky background. There's more contrast between the sky background, which is that's just my light pollution. That's all this is, or it would be dark. So, but software like PixInsight can manage that sky background and separate that signal through amazing, genius software. Yeah, I didn't know what an algorithm was when I was in college. Of course, I didn't take a whole lot of math when I was in college either. Now I use software that is nothing but multiple algorithmic schemes. And the people who write those scripts, it blows my mind. Okay. If you're just joining, I'm imaging NGC 2244, also the Rosette Nebula. And I've been imaging for close to 2 hours. I've got 5 hours and a half yet to go. And we'll have 110 images that are 240 seconds long. I'm using guiding software called PhD2. I did run the guiding assistant, and it suggested that I change my min mode to 7 and 10. I'm using predictive PEC, and I also have I'm using a periodic error correction algorithm that I created the last time I imaged, and here it is. This is my PEC curve, and right now we're right here, and we're cycling through. And if I wanted to create another curve, I just click on record, and when I create one, I have it go through 9 cycles, so it gets a real good curve, and it helps to improve guiding by having a good periodic error correction. And the curve is good as long as you don't manually change your mount. If you start disengaging the clutches and moving the mount around, then you're going to need a new PEC curve. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and start another PEC curve. And it's capturing 2 of 4,000 4,311 turns the cog. And when I do, I'll save it and give it a new date. But I create a new PEC curve probably as often as I feel like I need to, based on really the behavior of my guiding and given the scene conditions. I don't care how good your mount is. If scene is not good, guiding is not good. And the reason, if scene is not good, then stars are moving. Happy New Year, YT. Same to you. But if scene is not good, then your stars are moving around. If your stars are moving around, PhD's trying to correct it. The more stars twinkle, the worse the scene, the more PhD's trying to correct something that's not the mount's fault. So you get these erratic graphic behaviors and you wonder what in the world has happened to your mount. You start fussing at Celestron, Orion, or low spandy, but it's more than likely just scene conditions. I know the kid's got a new mount and his scene has been under 1 RMS almost every night he's been out. That we've kind of communicated through Discord and our Discord page for our astronomy group. But when the scene is bad, guiding is bad. Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody out there. I think the weather has really been insane. .86 tonight. Now that's awesome, kid. I'm in the I was at 1.19 earlier, and it's been in the 70s. I'm at 1.08 now, 1.05. It was at 0.7 at one time, and then it's been around 1.19. I mean, 1.1, almost 1.2, and so I've got a good signal. I'm at the signal is extremely strong on my star, and so I'm pleased with that. Reset everything. See how my pet curve's coming. This is the new pet curve right here, by the way, and that it's creating. And it'll take about an hour to go through 9 worm cycles, 9 cycles of the worm. So, and during that turn of 9 cycles, it will create a performance curve where there are imperfections in the mechanics of the mount, and so it can make those corrections to improve your guiding. Whereas PhD uses hysteresis to try to predict what your mount's going to do next from past behavior. This actually knows what your mount's going to do next from past behavior. It's it knows what's going to happen. So it's pretty cool. That's EQ mode. It's available for your Skywatcher mounts. I use an Atlas Pro, which is a Skywatcher HEQ6 mount. Is all it is. Made by packaged and sold by Orion, but it's nothing more than a Skywatcher mount. I love them. Kid, are you outside with your mount? Or you're in the house, aren't you? I was thinking you connected remotely. Yeah, I know. It is too cold. Those guys that do EAA imaging that are outside. Now, I like to be outside when the weather's fine. I sit outside. I've got a place where I can sit, and um, it's the wall right behind the piers, and I can sit on that wall and and enjoy the being outside. So let's look at our data. We're now in the threes. We're at 39.48. The mean is really coming down, and that's such a good thing. Oh, yeah. This median stretch is so much better. Yeah, boy. Now, get a visual, kind of remember what this looks like. This detail here, 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 here. And let's go over to, let's just Google pictures of NGC 2244. And let's bring up this one. Oh no, let's bring up this one. Let's see if we can't find that. No, that ain't gonna do very well either. This one. No, I'm just gonna need much more information. Can't tell. I can't get oriented, but at any rate. But if we stack 110 of these together, we should have a decent image. We'll go back to low stretch. The half flux radius is still 4.5. The lowest it's been is 4.49, so it's hasn't changed too much, so I don't see a need to refocus. So we're at 3922. About to, with each image, with each 4 minutes, this thing is dropping about 15 points. Okay, I'll do that. You can have your way with my images, kid. Hang on just a minute. You're going to be taken to a nope, go with that. Or do I? Yeah. All right. Head back. I'm going to be back in just a second. I'm going to go get some coffee and yeah, they'll need some jostling, but I'm going to go get some coffee. Mine's gotten cold, forgot I even had it, and we'll check on the score real quick here too and see if poor Trevor Lawrence is still throwing interceptions. Oh my goodness, 27-0. Jacksonville is losing. Ay. It's not even halftime. Wow. Yeah, I just saw that. That breaks my heart. I was kind of hoping Trevor was going to take him deep into the playoffs. Be a hero. Make a movie about him. Jacksonville's toast. Can't wait to see Colorado State play. Prime time. Coach Prime has arrived. All right, I'm going to leave you with some music for about 10 minutes or less, and I'm going to go do some flood management and be back. Oh Lord. Let's see. I have returned. Okay. We are on frame 31. Guiding looks like it's about the same. We're under 1. It's a little better. But we're higher in the sky too. The more towards the zenith, the better the guiding is for my kits. Also, the better the seeing is. Oh, it's good coffee. Can't believe Jacksonville is getting whooped. $27-0. I saw the first 2 picks with Jacksonville's first possessions. First two possessions. I can't watch anymore. It's glad to see San Francisco win. It's not my favorite town, but I like Deebo Samuels. I watched him play growing up. Deebo's quite a basketball player too. He's just an athlete. Let's put a stretch on this. We're at 38.41. Signal's looking much better. Yeah. I heard about him when he was in the 8th grade or 9th grade, and we went up to watch him play. It was high school. It was in the 8th grade, or 9th grade. And he was a stud duck then. Well, I'm imaging NGC 2244, which is the Rosette Nebula. And I've got quite a few images yet to take, but we're 31 out of 110. So we're 29% of the way. I'll stop imaging at, it will end at 3 o'clock in the morning. And this kit will shut itself down when it's done. I plan, let's see, what time did they say it was going to transit? It's going to transit at 11:30. So about 12 o'clock, I'm going to get some sleep. I'm gonna wake up around 4 and head over to the comet and snap some pictures of the comet while I can. It's going to be pretty low in the sky too at 4. Hey, Richard. We did. We had our family here, so we really had a great Christmas and a pretty uneventful New Year night. Then we had a week of really cold weather for us in the teens, and but it was a good week for imaging. So, but there was so much football being played, I imaged and watched football, and I didn't go live. Doing too many things at one time. So this morning I went live imaging the sun, and I had mount problems, so I made some adjustments, and I imaged this afternoon the sun. The sun is crazy. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me head over. This is 5 minutes ago. Check this out. This is a massive sunspot, and I'm going to image it most of tomorrow, all day. Look at this. You just don't see this much. This upheaval of plasma on the rim. That's not just a solar flare, that's just massive. Crazy, crazy. And then we got some good flaring going on here. But is that not insane? This filament's probably 300,000-400,000 miles long. A couple 100,000 here. You could fit a couple Earth-sized planets in this one. The Earth looks about like that. That's about the size of the Earth, that spot. Probably not quite that big, but this is just crazy. Let me go over to NASA Solar. And let's go to and Go to the 14th. Let's try the 13th. Yesterday, and we want to get the this guy here. Isn't that wild? So I've been imaging this and using a quark chromosphere, but we're going into the solar maximum, so it is active, crazy active. Head back outside to my little world. We're at 38.25, about to go down to 37. The mean, this is what I'm referring to, the mean ADU, which is a reflection of my signal to noise. We're now at 38.03 with this last image. Richard, how's the weather up at your neck of the woods? Yeah, we've had some unusual weather in the south, like summer thunderstorms or spring thunderstorms. We had tornado warnings all day yesterday or day before. We're in the low 30s here, Fahrenheit. Still in the 90s. Kid, I wonder how the star party's going. I bet they're all huddled in the warm room. The wind did calm down some. That's a good thing. We'll go outside and look at kind of looks like the telescope's going to run into something, but it's way out of the way. Richard, I had a solar kit over here that I had to take down today for repair reasons. So I moved the solar telescopes to this mount. Thank you, Corn. Mr. Lewis, appreciate it. But I'm anxious to get back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last day, and tomorrow night the last night. And I'm not a given that it's going to be cloudless. Might have to work between the clouds. And then Tuesday we're going to have rain. Then I think it's going to clear up some. It's wintertime. I got it about 4 years ago. And then I bought the Scout, the Solar Scout, about 2 years ago. So the Solar Scout is on top, and I can go back and forth between the two. I have a ASI 1600 monochrome camera on the Solar Scout, and I have an ASI 174 monochrome camera on the Quark Chromosphere, and it's an Astrotech 65 EDQ. What I don't like about the Scout is I have to go outside to focus it as a helical focuser, and the AT65 EDQ has a moonlight focuser on it, so I can focus from inside. I'm going to turn off these lights, see what the sky looks like, and stay off. And you're looking southeast. London. So yeah, you're 6 hours behind me. So it's 4 o'clock. You're getting ready to go home, aren't you? What are you doing working on Sunday? Saturday, Corin. I guess trying to survive like the rest of us. Yeah, we did. The nights we've had the night skies have been crystal clear, but the scene's just not good. Yep. This is a poor man's observatory. I have 2 piers here cemented into 4 cubic yards of concrete between both of them. This umbrella down here goes on an umbrella stand, and that's my observatory. Actually, our homeowners association won't, well, when we moved here, would not allow outbuildings. And I didn't know that, because I really did plan to buy a sky shed observatory. I had saved for that, and I had planned for that. But in a way, I'm glad it didn't work out, because I ended up putting 2 piers up, and until today, I would have ran 2 telescopes at one time. But I've now put my solar equipment on this, so that's why I'm not imaging with this kit. But both of these Atlas Pro mounts are pier mounted. So, and I had a telescope on a tripod over here, a Celestron AVX mount that I had all my solar equipment on. Yeah, but y'all always have a lot of rain in the UK, don't you, Warren? Kind of known for the overcast and effect of the Atlantic on your country. We don't have as many clear sky nights, would hope, but you have to go further out west, southwest of the United States, um, down where Gary M lives, and he has very few nights that aren't crystal clear year round. I told him I was going to move in his backyard and put up a tent. Since we moved in about 2 years ago, our homeowners association voted to go back inside. They voted to allow outbuildings as long as the sides mirror the house, and you have to have a roof that matches the roof on the house. So that meant that I could put up a roll-off roof observatory, but I'm 78 years old, and you get to the point where you think, how many clear sky nights do I have left? And does it make sense to spend that kind of money on something that the new owner of this home would have absolutely no use for? So I use telegizmos. I keep my kits out year round, 365 days, with the exception of about 2 weeks in the summertime. I bring the mounts in and tear them down, clean them, grease them, and then I put them back in for another year of wear and tear. But the telegizmos keep them just perfect. And I like the umbrella, the patio umbrella. It's a 9-foot umbrella, and it more than covers the telescopes, and it just keeps the sun from bearing down in the summertime, provides some shade, and and the dew at night just keeps it from nastying up my telegizmos. But the scopes stay dry. They're as dry as they would be if they were in my home, and I don't get bugs. It is amazing. No spider webs. It's amazing how clean they stay out underneath those telegizmos. So, pretty good stuff. Well, Corn, take a flight to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and you can set up in my backyard. And got a spare bedroom. Mimi and I are retired, have long been retired, although I do sports photography still. I'm about to shut that down. I'm almost too old to run the sidelines. This past summer, I did a spring football game, and I photographed it, and I'm on the sidelines, and I got clobbered. I had nowhere to back up. I was in front of the players, and I was trying to get out of the way, but there was no place to go, and I got snot knocked out of me, and I almost made up my mind then. I'm too old to be rolled by an athlete flying through the air trying to catch a down and out pass in my lap. I threw the camera about 25 feet, and it did still work. I messed up the lens. I was able to fix it, but this is the Rosette Nebula NGC 2244, and I'm using Sequence Generator Pro as my acquisition software. I've got 37 frames in the can, and I'm shooting for 110. Actually, I'm working on the 37th. This is the 36th frames done. We're about to 65 more seconds. We'll add another one. My mean ADU has gone from, I think it was 5,000 to 3746. So my signal to noise has really improved over the course. I had some good friends up in Greensboro, North Carolina. I've got some really good friends up there. I sure do. That's become a real populated part of the Carolinas, the Tri-Cities, Raleigh, Greensboro, and High Point. We're down the road about 200 miles from Greensboro, through Charlotte on into South Carolina, and we're about an hour down I-85 once you enter South Carolina from North Carolina. Let's stretch this and see how it's going. Guiding remains about the same. We're in the 80s. We were at 119 at the highest, 1.19, and that's when we were shooting about 23 degrees altitude. So I actually started, just for the heck of it, really low in the sky. The guiding wasn't too good, as expected, and the mean ADU was even worse. So, but the higher the telescope climbs, the better the scene and the better the signal to noise. And that's always the case. All right, I'm going to lose you for a second, but I'm going to put some more music on, and we're back. It is almost -1 degree Celsius. The good thing is that the dew point is still at -6. So here's the dew point graphic. Here's the temperature. And as long as those don't get, as long as they don't cross, then there will not be dew on our scopes tonight. My sky bortle's about 6. We're at sky bortle 6 here. I have a sky meter back here, and I'll get a reading about 1.18, 1.19 when there is no moon, and that's about as good as I'm going to get. For that reason, I do as much narrow band as I can. If I bring up this software, is it this? No. Is it this? No. Is it this? No. These are all my weather apps. Yeah. 19.42 is my sky quality meter, according to Clear Outside, and that's a little high. I'm at more in the 18s now. Wow. Yeah. I guess I should say thank you over my Bartle 6 skies. Oh. Yeah. I don't know what I would do. I guess I would just narrow band image if I was at 8 or 9. I use an L Pro filter on the RASA when I'm doing LRGB, or when I'm doing galaxies, for example, and it's okay for dealing with the light pollution. Yeah, I've got street lights all up and down our front. You know, it would just be sweet if the state of South Carolina could encourage absolutely everybody to turn their lights off for one night, just so that when they knew there was going to be a clear sky night, just one night from, say, if it's wintertime, from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, then turn them back on, just so that people could go outside and see what they've been missing. But now, the only way you can see what's up is to have a camera. The Rosette is a real good image to capture. For me, it's very forgiving because it has such a good signal, and I think I have. Go to my Astrobin channel. I don't know if I've ever put the Rosette up on my channel or not, or on my Astrobin. Not there. Here it is. There it is. That was taken with narrowband. Probably used a 1600 camera. Ads. Oh, these ads. Anytime you go over any of these, yeah, I used a 1600. It says MC, but it was a monochrome camera. Can't type. And that's actually not that good of a Rosette. Surely I've size D410. Here's another Rosette. What would I take this with? No, it's the same one. Here's another one. Looks the same though, because I used the same kit. So I've not shot it with a color camera before. Yes, I did. I shot it with an Attic 383 years ago. I bet it's up here. My favorite all-time image is this Andromeda image that I took back in 2015, and this was my favorite of favorite images. I took that with a Nikon 200x400 lens and a Nikon D800E that had been modified by Spencer's. I even had a heat reduction system put in it, and all I used for a long time was that Nikon D800E. I didn't think you could pry it out of my hands. It's such a good camera, and that lens is such a good lens. It should be. It's in the $8,000 range for the lens. But at any rate, I used it for sports photography, and I decided to try it. But there's my D800 and the 200x400 f4 on that Celestron AVX mount that's now broke in my garage that I gotta fix. Okay, back outside, make sure we're still alive. Guiding is going okay. We've gone back up to 111, 112. Not sure why. Thank you, Corin. That's my favorite of all the images I image Andromeda every year because it's there. It's such a fun target to image. I'll image it with different kits. Guiding's going to be in the 1 point, going to be at 1 and above, I think, from now on. See how our we're at 3,700, about to get to 36. That's good. Rosby, hello to you, sir. Welcome. We're imaging NGC 2244, the Rosette. I'm going to lose you here for a minute and bring you right back. You better get it while you can, because you probably can image it up through the middle of February, but after that it's going to be too low in the sky in the north to get any good time in. Thank you, Rashmi. We have we've taken 39 frames. This will be the 40th, and we're downloading it. So we got 40 frames at 240 seconds each, and we're headed for 110 frames. We got about 37% of them in the can, and we have 63% to go. My H8 half-flux radius has come down some. Just stretch this, put a medium stretch on it, put a high stretch on it. I don't know if these little checkerboard looking squares are visible on YouTube or not. That's the Bayer matrix. That's the easy way to identify a one-shot color camera. We're running this at minus 20 degrees, and since it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 degrees outside, it's 27 degrees Fahrenheit, And so we're -2 or 3 Celsius. It says we're -1 degree Celsius. But it is freezing. Yeah, I'm getting up at 4 o'clock. My plan, Corin, is to, that's a great target, by the way, Rashmi. That's a great target. I like the monkey head. It's a good time to get it too. But I'm going to try to, my plan is to stay up till about midnight tonight, and then try to get about 4 hours sleep. And then I'm going to get up and see what I can get from the comet. Just going to take up getting early in the morning to image it from here. I'm afraid. I don't like to get up early. I've gotten spoiled being retired. And when I do sporting events, that's at night. When I do this hobby, it's at night. So everything I do is at night. I don't require a lot of sleep, but I do require sleep. It's hard for me to go all night without any sleep. I'm miserable the next day. I need some, but I don't need a lot. But I almost get sick if I don't get any sleep. I used to do that when we would go see our in-laws and our laws, my parents and my wife's parents. We would drive all night, put the kids in the back seat, and drive all night from our home to our parents' home. 7-8 hour trip. They slept through it, and then the next day they were ready to go out and play, and I was ready to crash. At what time will it be high? Is the comet? I haven't paid that much attention to where it's going to be and when, but I'll definitely wait rather than get up in the morning. Thank you, Rashmi. I appreciate that. Comment about my videos. I do. I really appreciate that. But I don't want to get up at 4 o'clock if I can help it. I'd be glad to wait until February, but I don't want to miss it. And I think it's as close to the sun as it's going to get right now. And that's why I'm kind of afraid to wait too long. But I would love to be able to say, have a shot at it about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. That would be awesome. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to get up early to do it. Well, my phone's about to die. Better. Yeah, that's my plan, kid. Get up around 4 o'clock, go to bed around midnight tonight, and get up around 4. And I've got everything set up for it. I just don't. How high? Well, I'm gonna have to go. I need to. Let's do. Let's see. All right, let's find it here. 2022E3. Come on. Come on. Well, let's. Okay. Okay. I know it's on here. It's 2022E3, isn't it? Huh. What's the name of the comment, kid? Is it 2022 or 2023? I can't. I'm not able to. (2022)E3, yeah. Well, that's crazy. I had it up here the other day. Well, whatever. It just. Yeah, that's what. Don't know why it won't. Huh. Let me go to current time here. All right. Huh? It won't search for it. Oh, I can't watch. Really? What quarter? They got to be in the third quarter? If they come back and win this, I'm going to wet myself. How much time they have left? We're at 36:49 ADU. Just started the fourth? Wow. Come on, Trevor. The first few minutes I watched it, he threw 2 picks, so I'm not going to watch it. I'm bringing him bad luck. You're looking at NGC 2244, the Rosette Nebula. Guiding, still holding its own. It's back up to 119. This is where I started. Thank you, Corin. Yeah, it is coming in pretty good now. Part of the reason is I'm shooting almost straight up. But the seeing isn't all that good. It hasn't been good all day. My ADU, though, has improved a great deal. I'm still getting saturated stars. I'm looking at the maximum right here, and 65.5 means I've got clipping, but I'm taking 240-second exposures on a RASA f2 telescope, so there is going to be some clipping. What I should do, and I think I will, I'm going to change some things here. I'm going to cut this back to 100 lights, and I'm going to add some, I'll put the L enhance filter back up, and I'm going to add some 30-second, let's do about 50, no, I don't want that many, 30-second images just for the stars. So what I've decided to do, since I'm blowing out my stars by taking 240-second images to get the data on the nebula, is I'm going to take some 30-second light frames just for the stars, and I'm going to do that take 30 of those, and I'll just process the stars, and in PixInsight I'll remove the stars from the nebula, and I'll use these stars to I'll add those stars back to it, so I'll have more colorful stars doing that. So that's the plan. I don't know why I didn't. I need to do that with every image I take with the RASA where I use these long exposures because of these incredibly narrow bandwidth filters. So that's what I'm doing. That's what we're going to do. Let's zoom in on these stars and see how they look. Go to the sides. I zoomed in and I'm way over on the corners. That's pretty good so far. I'm losing my signal here. That looks pretty good. Yeah, up is always good, Corey. There's probably the difference between Bartle 6 and Bartle 5 shooting at, say, 35 degrees and shooting at 75 degrees. I have no idea if that's right. It just makes sense to me. Has to be more light pollution closer and heat from the sun reflecting off of rooftops and things. Even when it's cold, there's got to be more turbulence in the early evening when you first start imaging and you're low in the sky. We're going to get down to 3,200 before the night's over on these 242nd. Now I'm shooting at unity gain. I could lower, if I went down to say 0 gain, I would be at a 800 or 900 ADU. 51 degrees is a pretty good place to be and up. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that would be about right. I'm at 34.917 degrees latitude. Longitude, I'm at minus 82.0179 latitude. Richard, I'm not sure. Tonight, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to try the RASA. That's 400 millimeters, and so I shot. What was the comment I just shot? What was that? And where did I put that? I shot that at 600 and no, I shot that with the stellar view at 336 millimeters. What was the last comet we shot? Huh, I can't remember. Oh, Love. It was about 2 years ago. What was the comet we were chasing 2 years ago? Love. What was it? Not Pan Stars. Daggone. Where can I find that? Let's see. Where did I possibly put that? Let me go to let's see. I was thinking I had it on my desktop somewhere. Oh, I know where it is. Let's go to Ecamm, pictures. I think. Neowise, that's it. Here's my final Neowise. I took this with the Stellar View 70T Neowise. And so I think I'll stay with the RASA. I don't remember what camera I used. I bet I left the 16. I used the Stellar View SV70T, which was 336 millimeter, and I think I used the ASI 1600 camera because that normally was the only camera I used on that telescope. But I'm positive. I imaged it several times, and I think it's what it was. Neowise. Sure was. Excuse me, guys. Just hanging out, taking pictures. We're getting close to halfway. Yeah, you could see it with the naked eye from here. It wasn't easy, but you could. Yeah, I think you might be too big for the comet. I don't know, how much of the comet do you want? It really just depends on what you're going after. I kind of like to get the whole thing in, the tail from one end to the other. And I'm not interested at all in getting a time lapse. I don't care whether I see movement or not. I just like to get a nice picture of it. Okay, so the plan right now, we've got 4 hours left to image roughly. It'll be over 4 hours because I'm dithering every frame. So it takes, you got to add 15 to 20 seconds to every image. So instead of 240, it's closer to 300 seconds per image. So it's going to be like 4 hours and a half. So that'll take me up to 3:30. That'll be good. I'd go for the 60 millimeter over the 10 inch, I think. That's what you want. That's a good that 80 millimeter. That's probably around 420 That's probably 420 focal length, something like that. Corin, does your 80 millimeter have about a 420 focal length? Yeah, that'll do it too, Richard. Bingo. 425, yeah. That's you may not get it all in. I'm gonna have probably a little bit of a problem getting it all in, but it's gonna be close. I just don't know how big it is. It's like Neil-wise, I would say 425, anywhere around there is going to be pretty good. Smaller is better. But Richard, a lot of great pictures were taken with wide field 200 millimeters, 120 millimeter cameras, lenses on DSLRs. I'm for that. I just had an idea though. I've got a Celestron fork mount in the garage. Downstairs. My bonus room is right over my garage, and this is where I'm sitting in the bonus room of my home. And I was just thinking I may want to roll that fork mount out and not use the RASA and put the Stellar View 70T on there, because I know how well that did last time. Thinking. Huh. I like the idea though of having an F2 RASA for light gathering. But I got to go out and take that L-enhanced filter off and put the Sky Pro IR UV cut filter on it. That's the plan. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to use the RASA with the L Pro filter, and let's see, it's 11:08. When does this thing transit again? I can't remember. At 11:23, it's going to transit pretty soon. So as soon as it transits, I'm going to wait and let it do its thing, and then I'm going to go to bed and wake up. And let me go outside and see where the telescope is. (4:09 a.m.) Wow. You are up late, Warren. You're the man. You're my hero. Okay, let's turn off these outside lights. No, I don't need to do that. Yeah, you can see we're ready to transit this thing straight up. Transit time. Wait a minute, I thought you guys were 6 hours behind us, which would make it, so I gotta add 6 hours. So it's Saturday. No, it's not 4:09 in London. Aren't you 6 hours behind Eastern Standard Time? Five hours? Okay. I guess you are 4:10. Wow. Yeah, well, I was thinking it was 6 hours, and that's because my son lived in Nice, France, and I was thinking Nice and London were in the same time zone, and that was 6 hours, so evidently not. Actually, he lived in Grasse, Grasse, France, which is right outside of Nice, for several years. He's back in the States now. Beautiful country, though. All right, well, I'm gonna stay live until I flip the mount, and I may go ahead and flip it myself, so I don't have to wait for it. Let's do this. Let's go to my let's go to telescope, Meridian flip. Let's make it 2 minutes past the meridian. We want to auto center after the flip. I want a delay of 10 seconds. Okay. So let me bring up, I gotta find the comment here, NGC 2244. And here's the rosette right here. And let me get the current time. So it's gonna transit at 11:23. Right, that's what it said. So at 11:25, by 11:30, I will have flipped. Oh, now I understand, Corin. So, hey, that's shifty. That is cool. So you work the night shift and you're, yeah, big time. I like it. That's awesome. Yeah, I let Sequence Generator Pro do the flips for me too. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, Richard. I'm going to be live doing the sun in the morning. And I'm going to do the sun in the afternoon too as well. I'll probably be live then. And then I'll be live tomorrow night. That is if the clouds stay away. Tomorrow morning I'll be live for sure. And then the afternoon we're supposed to have some clouds move in and then move back out. So I'll fight the clouds, but as long as I have sky, I'll be imaging. That's the plan. So, yeah, Corin, you got it going on, my friend. That's awesome. Yes, sir. I'm Ed Overstreet. Let's see, Facebook. Bring me up. Bring me up, Scotty. Okay. Actually, I am live now, and you're seeing Facebook page on Facebook. This is the sun I did today live. This is the Pinwheel Galaxy that I did recently. IC1848, part of the California Nebula. M81, M82. That's the little eagle, baby eagle. Couldn't help but image the moon one night. And one of my doggy movies, 1871 IC. Yeah, I've got some images up that I've done and some live sessions. Back when it was planetary time. Yep. Send me a friend request. I'm Ed Overstreet, and this is Three Dog Night. I used to image a lot of concerts, and got to know this group right here pretty good. They're kind of an older group, Three Dog Night. Alice Cooper, I'm going to be imaging Alice Cooper in a couple months. but I don't do much of that anymore. Yeah, here's the Facebook page. So anyway, yeah, I'm on Facebook to answer your questions. So let me get back outside. Ay, 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 ay. I usually simultask for both YouTube and Facebook. I started doing the YouTube channel a little over a year ago, really to put up some videos, because we have an astronomy group, Roper Mountain astronomers, and some of them were getting into astro imaging, and so I was trying to encourage a lot more to get into it. So I was putting YouTube videos up for them, and primarily what little I know, I was trying to share it. Yeah, I'll be right out in front of Alice. I got an email from, I can't even think his name now. Pitt. Oh, he manages the auditorium, Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium, asking me if I'd be available. How many tickets were you going to get? Um, well, hang on, because my wife's not going to go, and I usually take her, and my daughter sometimes likes to go. Depends on the group. You know, if it's like the Beach Boys or somebody that we used to shag to or something, uh, they like to go, but they're not going to go. And so, hang on, I may be able to get another ticket or two. It's um, we're it's not absolutely sure that I'm going to be photographing them too. Um, I've been asked if I will, but they're trying to find out from their publicist um, what their requirements are going to be. Most of the time, most groups don't mind if you photograph the first 2 songs, sometimes the first 3 songs, but they want the photographers gone. And then this last group that was down there, they changed their mind at the last minute, said they didn't want any photographers. Who was that? I'm trying to think. Just recently too. And Corin, I'll get to your friend request later, probably tomorrow, but I'll find it and we'll figure that, and I'll accept your friend request when I get off of this live stream. I may do it tonight, but I'll definitely do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. He's got to be dead looking. He was dead looking when he was young. Now that he's old, he's got to be dead looking. Yeah, Raven Melon. What was the? Oh. A lot of times when I photograph a group right after I do the songs, unless, gosh, what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Pitts. He'll ask me if I can stay until it's over with for the meet and greet, because the people that pay extra to sit down front, they like to have their pictures taken with the band members. So, but when I'm not staying for the meet and greet, then after I do the first 3 songs, most of the time I boogie out of there and just I don't stay. I take earplugs. Of course, I'm right in front of the speakers too. We're down to 3558. Mean ADU. Signal's looking so much better than when I started. Yeah, boy. Guiding is still okay, not great. Well, it's at 84 now, 0.84. So it's settled down a little bit. We're getting close to flipping time. So I've already forgotten what time it said it was going to flip. 11:23. So we're getting close. Probably going to take this picture and another one and then flip. No, it wasn't Craven Melon. It was who was it? And he's not that good. Was it Gordon Lightfoot? Who was it? I'm thinking it was Gordon Lightfoot. Whoever it was, I was thinking, wow, of all people, not to want to be photographed. Patti LaBelle was the most gracious. She said, "You can stay as long as you want." But I was really surprised her wardrobe was pretty ragged. I've got pictures of Patti LaBelle on my Facebook page that she had holes in some of her clothes. And I thought, how did that happen? It looked like moths got into them, that she wore during the performances. No, it was much earlier. It was in the last 6 or 7 months. I think it was sometime this summer that, it was around the spring game, because I almost told him I couldn't do it because I was going to have to photograph that spring game. So it was early summer, early spring, right before school got out. So whoever was there then, it was somebody like Gordon Lightfoot. I can look up the I can look up the, go back and see who's played there. That's not that important, but at any rate, da, 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 da. So I'm not sure whether it's going to take another picture after this one or not before it flips. I'm going to wait it out though. Kid, is the game over or are they still playing? I figure if they were winning, you would be telling me. Okay, 22 seconds left on this one. We're at 35:53. And oh man. Oh man, I can't watch. I can't watch. I can't watch. Oh my goodness. 30 to 28, 3 seconds left. Oh my goodness. Jacksonville, that city will go ape crap if they kick a field goal. Ah, we're flipping. I'm going to go outside and watch it. So we are flipping and come on, come on, come on. There it goes. There goes the telescope. It's a flipping. Did they really? Jacksonville won? I just wet myself. That is awesome. Holy crap. No kidding. Did they do it really for real? Ay, 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 ay. All right, guys, we're going back to the game. Uh, oh, look at Trevor. Ay, 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 ay. Look at the Chargers head down. Holy smokes. I love it. Trevor, Trevor, Trevor. He's a winner. Oh, what a field goal. Hot dog. Oh, there's an unhappy man right there. There's a happy man right there. He doesn't believe it. He doesn't believe it. That's the game. And there's Trevor. And he threw 2 picks. I wonder if he. There's, my goodness. Well, I should have watched it. Okay, let's go back over. It looks like my dew shield's about to fall off. All right, we are now plate solving. It's going to recenter. We're off 365 pixels in right ascension and 55 pixels in declination. And it should be plate solved now. Yep. Now it's going to restart the auto guider. And let's make sure it's done that. Yep. It started again. So then it's going to start imaging. Going to let the auto guider settle for a while. And then it's going to kick in and start imaging. Here we go. We successfully flipped, and we're counting down 230 seconds. And so, folks, I'm going to say goodnight to all of you. It's been a pleasure shooting the bull with you, talking astronomy, talking football, talking Facebook, and meeting some new friends from the UK. Corin, you have a great rest of the work day and get some rest. Guys, I'm going to be up. I don't know if I'll be live or not. I may have my hand full just finding the comment. I've got to, before I go to bed though, I got to figure out what the RA and deck is going to be at, say, 4:15, so that I can type that in and plate solve it. So I need to know what the RA and deck is going to be at 4:15. If anybody is looking at that information on their software, that's good. Warren, I was glad I could, and it's nice meeting you, my friend. You have a great weekend and rest of the weekend, and come back and join us when we're live again, which for me is going to be tomorrow night again. So I will catch everybody later. I can't find how to sign off. I have lost my I'm stuck. I may never sign off. All right, let's go. We are saying goodbye now. Catch you later, guys.
I mean, it's just every single one of us starts with Coach Peterson at the top.